By the end of this video, you're going to know exactly the only thing that you need to pursue to be able to advance as quickly as possible in your business. Now, I'm not saying this from a position of someone who's already done it. I'm someone who's doing it at the moment. So this is through my journey. So if you haven't been watching the videos, my name's Lewis and I'm currently building my supplement brand, my own supplement products myself, and I'm eventually looking to build the world's biggest supplement brand to be able to help make men's health get pointed in a better direction, basically. So before I actually break through to the one thing you should be pursuing, I want to actually give a bit of backstory to actually how I came to this conclusion. And so by the end of this video, you're going to know exactly where you're going to be able to go in terms of actionables on how to actually make the most progression, whether it's in your business or whatever career path you're taking particularly. So I found that I spent so much time rushing, trying to make sure that the process is getting done as fast as possible, because speed is key, trying to make sure that I slap every task together just with the sole focus of money in mind, making sure that everything is very cash orientated and that my sole focus is building my wealth and all these material things and making money the constant focus. When in reality, the only thing that you should be focusing on is more so knowledge and wisdom, and asking questions, trying to make sure that the only thing that you're actually trying to make the progress on is the skills and knowledge that you're obtaining, because realistically that's the only thing that's going to transition from whatever business or from whatever career path you actually take. Because let's say you were to switch business models, you start from scratch, but the journey's a lot quicker towards the success point because the gap's already been shortened from how much you learned from your last business. And so what I've found is that I was trying to rush my business model so much, trying to make sure that I'd be able to launch the product and start running ads for it and making sales within the first 3 months of the idea. But we had the idea in December of 2023, and now it is currently going into August of 2024, and we still haven't launched the product. And now most people at the start of their journey would have the same frame of mind that I did, basically looking at and thinking, you're taking so much time, you're wasting all that time and all that effort and not getting anywhere. How are you meant to make money if you're spending all that time, 8 or 9 months, and you haven't even launched the product yet? The reality is, you realize that if you want to go further, you need to spend more time preparing, and you need to spend more time sharpening the axe, making sure that you're broadening your skill set and building on the existing foundation of knowledge that you already have or that you don't have. Because particularly if you don't have that foundation of knowledge and you're trying to get into a business, you've got a lot of momentum to build to be able to see the results of a successful business if you don't have any foundational knowledge. And so that's why I say, if you pursue wisdom, you will see the fruit from pursuing wisdom. And it's pretty much described, or you can describe it as basically planting a tree and looking after that tree. And because wisdom is like that tree that keeps growing after you nurture it, and you will see the well looked after and ripened fruits of the wisdom that you are building on, the wisdom that you're chasing from other people who have done it, whether that's successful entrepreneurs, philosophers, whatever kind of people that you're looking to gravitate to listen to, who are an expert in the space that you're trying to get into. It doesn't matter who particularly, but what matters is that you're chasing knowledge, because building on knowledge allows you to see more perspectives. And the way I see it is that you're more equipped to be able to judge and assess a situation if you see more points of view. And it's exactly the same with talking to people as well. Think of it as that there's always something to learn from other people, and that you shouldn't actually put off a conversation with someone because they're not in your social status, or they're not where you want to go, or maybe they don't have the same beliefs as you. It's not about that. The point is that you need to look at someone else or someone that you're listening to online, whether it's a podcast, video, movie, YouTube, whatever it is. or even in a conversation in person. These people serve a purpose in your life of being able to feed knowledge from them, because everyone is an example of who you can learn from, whether it's showing you what not to do or showing you what to do in order to get to your goals. And of course, you're not going to take everyone's opinions and perspectives to heart and take them and run with them as fast as possible. Everyone's going to serve a different purpose in terms of what information you give them. But the important thing is that what I found is that when I redirected my focus to being knowledge driven and looking to actually chase building skills and accumulating more knowledge and wisdom, you go much slower, and the progress looks like that you're not actually doing much, because it's pretty much like bamboo, and I'll explain that in a second. But it's a lot slower because it's not the fast pace, constantly trying to do things and slapping everything together really quickly and rushing the process. I say it's like bamboo because if you know anything about how bamboo grows, is you plant it and majority of the time it's growing underground, and so you don't see it, but it's growing and it's growing and it's growing. Same with a high-rise skyscraper building. You have to build the foundations out so much before you're able to actually soar it into the sky, because it's not going to be able to reach amazing heights off a really shallow and rushed foundation. So you need to treat your asset as yourself. You as the entrepreneur, you need to treat yourself in the same way. You can't treat yourself as someone who you should rush your skill set, rush your wisdom, try and skip to the end of important knowledge and actually rush the process in order to get the money, because the money comes from the amount of wisdom and knowledge you know and the skills that you have, because you get paid in proportion to the expertise you bring to the table and the solutions that you provide, not from how quickly you can rush through a YouTube video or a tutorial course, or how quickly you can start running ads that you know nothing about because you just want to make money. Because skills are far more important. They transition into different vehicles of business that you try to pursue. You take the knowledge as you pivot to different models, and you don't lose it. Your business might go under, but you keep the skills. And the more you look to pursue in knowledge, at least what I've found, is that you become more confident in yourself and more grounded in your ability to succeed. Because if any of you are on their early steps of their journey, you might have a little bit of doubt in if you're going to make it, or if the journey's worth it, or if it's going to pay off, because I've had that too. But you find that the more knowledge that you accumulate and the more that you learn and the more that you develop your skills, you start to have less and less doubt in yourself, because you know that as you're sharpening the axe, as you're building those skills, and as you can see that you're getting better from the knowledge you obtain, you have less and less doubt that you are going to end up failing, because it's a mix of, one, you're getting better, and two, you're never going to stop. Because if you pursue money, you might stop, and that's where the journey becomes shallow. But if you pursue knowledge, you'll never stop. You just keep going and going and going, because at the end of the day, it's not tied to a materialistic car or house or dollar, but it's actually tied to being better, building your skills, looking to try and develop in as many domains in life as possible. And it really does take a long time to master a single domain before you pivot to something else. It's going to take a long time for me to master the model that I'm in, trying to master e-commerce, trying to master ads or influencer marketing, to try and make sure I leverage as many bits as possible to make my business successful. Sure, you can always do well in them, but to master something, it really does take a long time. And that's why you need to be skill orientated and wisdom orientated, not cash orientated. Because if you're skill orientated, you can last a lot longer in business and whatever career path you're looking to walk forward in. And so, as I said with this video, it sounded a bit like a ramble, but in terms of what to do next, actual practical steps, at least for me, the things I did: start watching some content in the areas that you want to get better in. Start obsessing over the people and the experts that actually have the knowledge and wisdom that you want to obtain. They say that you're the 5 you're some of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Those don't have to be people you know personally. They don't have to know you either. For me, for a while, the 5 people I knew the most were 5 people that produce content every day on YouTube that I pretty much absorbed everything from. And then you pick different things that you filter in and out of what you want to adapt based on how you want to become or what skills you want to obtain. So pick up those books as well, study those different things that you want to, what you're interested in, what you think is going to move the needle forward with your business or into this area of expertise that you want to develop skills in. These things are important because those are the things that are going to show the most impact when you decide to actually hit the ground running in business. It's not going to be how quickly you can get your business up, because if there's no knowledge and there's no skills behind it, you're useless. And I found that, and I'm glad that I found that so early on, because otherwise if I didn't learn that, I'd still be changing from different business idea to different business idea, because I thought that the problem was the model, but the problem was me, that I didn't spend time working on my skills and my expertise and what I needed to do to be able to make me better for the business. The business is rarely the problem, it's usually a skill issue. And I found that really early on, and I wanted to post this video as unstructured and sloppy as it was. I wanted to emphasize the point that it is never a business issue and it is usually a skill issue. And so knowing that and saying that to you guys now, invest the time and effort into practicing and sharpening your skills. It's the only thing I can say. I'm going to leave it here because I've been rambling way too longer than I expected. So hopefully you got some value out of this video, and I'll speak to you guys next time.